Sometimes you make deep connections through brief encounters. Nearly a decade ago, we had one such connection when we met Ganimaya Kusunda in her home in Nepal. She was 76 back then and good at climbing trees. She had a great sense of humor, was a chain smoker, and was always busy. Ganimaya is Kusunda, an indigenous identity in Nepal, and being one of the last fluent speakers of their language, also called Kusunda, weighed heavy on her heart.
अब म पनि मर्ला के मेरो बाछा लोभौँला र अब म बच्छु कि भन्ने आश माया छ त्यही हो
Over the following years, she began teaching her mother tongue to the younger Kusunda generation. And together, we began conceptualizing this project that you're currently viewing. But just one day before the planned trip to Nepal for the production of the virtual reality piece, Ganimaya passed away. Ganimaya's passing led us on a different journey than the one we had anticipated. A journey of serendipities that helped us meet her shaman, whose first words to us were, "I dreamed there would be guests visiting."
Gilangi mat oichi, gilangi mat oichi, akpe tokda gilang mangji, japak dai bharcha, lardai da pur gilang myaksai kakche tukchuk zeldai. Gilangi mat oichi, gilangi mat oichi, akpe tokda gilang ma anji
Kusunda shaman Lil Bahadur lives at the top of this remote village in western Nepal. There's no road leading here, and the hike takes about an hour. Longer if you've got a bunch of equipment to set up a makeshift volumetric virtual reality studio.
Camera rolling.
Depth sensor rolling.
Sound rolling.
Okay.
Introduction.
Take
1. You will need to use your voice in this experience. We promise it will all make sense in a while. So let's try it. Say after the prompt.
It means greetings. My name is Lil Bahadur Kusunda. We come from Gulmi district, but this is where I live now. It's been 50 years living here. We used to live and feed ourselves in the jungle. We used to fight wild animals. We learned it from our great-grandfathers, and we roamed around since their times. This practice continued until my time, but now it has ended.
Lil Bahadur is speaking Nepali with us. The Kusunda word for forest is
Gilang.
Can you say
Gilang.
after the prompt? The Kusunda call themselves kings of the forest. Until just some decades ago, they led a hunter-gatherer life in the jungles of Nepal.
We roamed all over Nepal with our bows, arrows, and quivers. At sunset, we would stop and sleep wherever we had reached. Such was our lifestyle.
There's no word for the color green in the Kusunda language. Linguists told us that's because the Kusunda lived in the forest where they were surrounded by green. It would be like having a color to describe air. There are also only up to 5 numbers in the language and no concept of hourly time.
We used traps and shot arrows. We used to make the bows and arrows ourselves. Bows and arrows are our friends. They're precious to us. Without them, we cannot hunt down our prey. We learned from our great-grandfathers. We learned from our ancestors. We only hunted when we had to eat. We neither killed nor ate peacocks or hooved animals. We used to stay under shelters and live inside caves. Kusunda people never stayed under these roofs. Usually we would burn fire to the side and sleep next to it.
Lil Bahadur had been treating Gyani Maya through her illness.
Dangbay,
Is the Kusunda word for shaman. Say
Dangbay,
after the prompt.
My father and great-grandfather were shamans too. But shamanic powers come from within. Teachings from other people don't work. See, it cannot be learned. It possesses you from within, and you start jumping. We have to drink a lot of alcohol. Like other shamans, I jump, and I also heal people. Different Kusunda people have different notions about how best to make herbal medicines. You wouldn't even know the herbs if I showed them to you. We would pluck the herbs only when we needed them. You cannot store these herbs. You must find them on the day that you need them. Yes, there are mantras. Brother, I'll just say this much to you. Without a mantra, we can't fight a witch. Without it, she will consume us. I can't recite one right now like this.
We, the visitors, had tripped the electricity supply with our power-hungry computer. We were certainly making our presence felt. Lil Bahadur faced rather different challenges during his life in the jungle. Now, you get to pick a word. Say,
Myak,
meaning tiger, or
Say,
meaning bear.
One day, I went hunting for pheasants in the jungle. Suddenly, I heard a noise, and I thought it was a pheasant. But to my surprise, it was a bear. Slowly, I backed away. As I backed away, it suddenly attacked me. Well, I hit it with my bow, but it broke. Had it attacked me from higher ground, it would have got me. But it was coming from the lower ground. I wanted to strike its face, but of course my bow was broken. I didn't know what to do, but later it went away. After one strike, it left. I was definitely scared. Either it eats you or you eat it. It's a wild animal. Pardon? I feel like getting out of here.
His back is hurt.
I can't talk sitting like this.
मैं उनको यहाँ काम में बैठा कर करेंगे तो अच्छी हो वो बोल रहे हैं ठीक है
So maybe we can take a break?
Okay, you can take a break.
And then there was a longer forced break on the project due to the coronavirus pandemic. We couldn't travel back to Nepal, so we kept working across the distance. There's not much internet connectivity in the valley, so no video calls. But we exchanged project details over a choppy phone connection and some letters. That's Lil Bahadur telling us he's afraid that the virus could take him for good if it got to the village. Lil Bahadur spent a large part of his life, nearly 20 years, being alone in the forests. And then he met his wife. There's no Kusunda phrase for being or falling in love. The phrase that comes closest to describing courtship is to persuade someone. Say, meaning alone, or meaning to persuade someone after the prompt.
We Kusunda lived in a group of 15 or 16 people. When my parents were still alive, I lived with them. When they passed away, I had a hard time. It happened around the time I was of marriageable age, but I was left alone, so I had to walk alone. At night, I slept wherever I had arrived that day. Sometimes I had to remain hungry. It was nothing special. I traveled and walked alone. I got used to it. Used to beg for food. I had a cooking pot. Wherever I found water, I would cook. If I wasn't hungry, I just continued my journey.
How does it affect someone spending decades alone in the forest? We wondered if his playfulness was a result of this period. Did this quality help him get through loneliness? Kusunda is a language isolate, which means it's unrelated to any other language of the world. There are currently only a couple of fluent speakers. Say,
Miyago.
meaning to forget after the prompt.
I spoke the Kusunda language until I was 18 years old. My parents were alive at that time. After they died, the language slowly faded away. I forgot Kusunda when I was separated from my group and had to travel alone. That's how it happened. Later, I met other people and started speaking the Nepali curse language. What can I say about forgetting the language? It feels bad. If I'd had the chance to regularly speak my language, you would have had many more things to listen to. Unfortunately, I forgot. Now, what can I do? I can only speak a few words. I don't know more. I forgot my language. Now my granddaughter speaks it. She is learning it. This is the time for the new generation.
सिकिजी हिमा कुसुन्डा चिओही तिरामपिउठान सरुमारानी गाउँपालिका 6 बुढीचौर मलाई पढ्न मन पर्छ
Yes, I like studying. When I'm not studying, I listen to the radio.
यस्तो गीत
Sometimes I listen to music and try to compose songs.
रेडियो सुन्ने त्यस्तो नै गरेर बस्छु।
That's most of it.
टिचर बन्ने सोच छ
I want to be a teacher.
अनि
And along with that, I also want to pursue my singing career.
गीत सङ्गीतलाई पनि अगाडि बढाउने मन छ। मेरो चाहिँ सानै
I've enjoyed singing since my childhood. It's my passion.
पर्छ हैन त्यसैले चाहिँ वनमा बसेर
I've never lived in the jungle, but my ancestors did.
बस्नुभयो उहाँहरूलाई त्यति थाहा होला तर मलाई
They've had the experience, but I don't.
नबसेको हुनाले कुसुन्डाको बारेमा
I read books about the Kusunda people,
मैले पढेर पनि किताबमा पढेर पनि थाहा
and I got to know more from my family and my grandfather.
मुखबिन्दुबाट पनि सुनेर थाहा पाएको।
Remember at the start, I told you there's a reason you're using your voice in this experience. Hema is that reason.
To those who are watching this video, I want to let you know that our language is on the verge of extinction.
हाम्रो भाषा चाहिँ एकदम पनि लोप हुन लागेको छ। अझ माथि
If you want to contribute to the upliftment of this language, you may learn it.
आफ्नो भाषा पनि सिक्न सक्नुहुनेछ।
Hema started learning Kusunda from Gyanimeya. In one of our conversations, Gyanimeya had described Hema as her brightest student. Say,
किपन
meaning language after the prompt.
I feel sad to think that our language is going to come to an end. Most people converse in their mother tongue. I want to feel what it's like to speak in one's own language, and I'm learning it so that it won't be lost. If the Kusunda language disappears, then the existence of the Kusunda people in Nepal will also fade away. We'll lose our identity. That's why I want to save our language. If I become fluent in the language, I think I'll teach others too. Yes, I've got the courage and hope that I can save the Kusunda language and its culture.
As part of the collaborative process of creating this piece, Hema wrote and composed a song for her grandfather in the Kusunda language. Say,
Kusunda.
to hear that song.
बाजे
Grandfather, I don't know about all your experiences, but I've written this song describing your past life. Please listen to it.
म गाउँछु डगै गिलाङ्दै डगै बले उमेर लड्दैका फेर फुर फुर गिलाङमा म्याक सय काक्से डुको सुख झेल्दै गिलाङ्गी माट ओइचे गिलाङ्गी माट ओइचे आक्पे टोक्डा गिलाङमा हाङ्जी झपक्दै भर्छ लड्दै र फुर फुर गिलाङ म्याक्सै काक्से डुकसुक झेल्दै गिलाङ्गी माट ओइचे गिलाङ्गी माट ओइचे आक्पे टोक्डा गिलाङमा हाङ्जी झपक पर्छ गिलाङ्गी माट ओइचे आक्टे टोक्डा गिलाङमा हाङ्जी झपक्दै भर्छ
Did you understand it?
बुझ्नुभयो
No,
Spent my whole childhood in the jungle,
वनमै बित्यो बाल्य उमेर तपाईँ सानो हुँदा बाल्य उमेर वनमा बित्यो नि?
struggling with problems.
अनि लड्दै र पढ्दै कहिले लड्ने कहिले के गर्दै
I lived my childhood sometimes fighting wild animals in the jungle,
दुःख सुख झेल्दै कहिले लड्ने कहिले बाघभालुको डर
sometimes running several hills out of fear.
त्यो
I have a home in the jungle,
बाघभालुको डर थियो होइन
sometimes under temporary shelter, sometimes in caves, wandering.
छाप्रो छ कि गुफामा बसिन्छ कि कहिले कहाँ
We didn't go grains in the jungle. We had to beg for food.
यता हामीलाई वनमा बस्दा कन्ट्रमुलकै वर्ष
Or else our life depended on wild root vegetables.
अब मागरे हो कि खाने त्यो कन्दमुल
That is what the song is trying to say.
कन्दमुलकै घरमा बाँच्या छ भनेछ यो
During one of our conversations with Ganimaya, we had asked her what she thought about the future of the Kusunda language. We recently played back those recordings and came across this.
राम्रो देख्छु राम्रो होला भन्छु त्यो भनेको नहुने हो गर्न सक्यो हुन्छ नगर्न सक्यो भने त्यो त केटी छ क्षमा भने त्यसले गर्छ ठुलो दाजु छ हाम्रो त्यो एउटा क्षमा ठुलो छ एउटा भन्दा त्यो क्षमा भने केटीले त मैले यसको त गीत पनि निकाल्छु बुइ हाम्रो भाषाबाट बोल्नु यहाँ भाषाको नाम गीत पनि निकाल्छु बुइ निकाल गीत छैन क्या हाम्रो भाषामा गीत छैन मैले गीत पनि निकाल्छु बुइ
We had come a full circle.
Sozak. Yeah.